In the blink of an eye, a routine campus debate turned into a national nightmare. Just one day before the anniversary of a tragic day in history, a young conservative voice was silenced forever by a sniper's bullet. But amid the chaos, a single camera caught it all. And what happened to that recording afterwards sparked a firestorm that exposed the dark side of our divided world. Picture this: thousands of college kids gathered under a clear sky, buzzing with energy for what was meant to be a fiery discussion on America's future. The speaker, a bold 31-year-old advocate for change, was in his element, challenging ideas and firing up the crowd. Then, without warning, a sharp crack echoed across the open space. He crumpled to the ground, hit in the neck by a round from a rifle perched on a nearby building, about 140 yards out. It was midday, September 10, 2025, a split second that shattered lives and ignited endless questions. That camera, part of the event's production setup, was rolling in crystal clear quality, capturing every angle for later sharing. But in the hours that followed, the focus shifted from the tragedy to the tape itself. Whispers spread that this footage held secrets that could append the official story, fueling claims of hidden truths and foul play. Eyewitnesses described the scene as pure pandemonium, people screaming, some dropping to their knees in prayer, others frozen in shock as guards rushed to find the gunman. "It hit like thunder," one student recalled, voice trembling. In the midst of it all, videos from phones poured online, replaying the fall over and over. Users zoomed in, slowed it down, and debated every detail. Some spotted what looked like a spark near his collar mic, insisting it was rigged to blow. Others heard echoes of extra shots in the audio, but a closer look told a different tale. No scorch marks on his shirt, no shreds of fabric, just a clean wound from the opposite side. Experts stepped in, explaining that the mic theory didn't hold up under scrutiny. State rules required a full exam of the body, and it confirmed the path of a single bullet. Yet doubts lingered. Folks analyzed his stance, the breeze, even gleams in sunglasses from the audience. It was a whirlwind where facts tangled with fears, amplified by algorithms that fed on frenzy. By dawn the next day, officials pointed to a 22-year-old local worker as the suspect. He turned himself in after his family saw his face in circulated images. His prints were on the weapon ditched in the woods, and odd markings on the shells suggested a twisted bid for attention, not some grand plot. Still, skeptics argued the distance was too great for one person alone. They pored over shadows and angles, claiming the production camera revealed glitches that didn't match the rooftop perch. The event crew had rigs set up, everywhere, some behind the podium, one straight on, and a mobile unit grabbing reactions. The key lens, fixed high above, nailed the impact in stunning detail. Minutes later, a team member was seen scaling a chair to pull down the device and slip out its memory card. To them, it was about safeguarding the record in the mayhem. But online, that clip went viral with tags screaming tampering and cover-up. Versions of the video got chopped and looped, zooming on hands in gloves, alleging swaps or deletions. A rep for the group pushed back, insisting the card went straight to authorities without a hitch. But the web had already spun its web of suspicion. Then came talk of flashes in windows nearby, glints that users swore were from another barrel. One breakdown video circled the spot, declaring it proof of a backup shooter. Reality check. Those sparks matched sunlight bouncing off phones in the crowd, not fire from a gun. Checks showed the building was empty, but the idea stuck because it painted a thriller-like scene, with shadows pulling strings instead of a lone act of violence. People craved that drama over the cold randomness of it all. Next, questions swirled around the injury itself. A bullet like that should have ripped right through, right? Where was the full report? Rumors flew of no slug found, hinting at a setup, but details emerged. The round stopped short, caught in tough tissue and bone, a common outcome in such hits. No images released, as per protocol in active cases. But that silence only fed the beast. The organization behind the event found itself in the crosshairs. Accusations flew of staging the whole thing for sympathy or to push agendas. Even close allies faced backlash, dredging up old clips of past threats, like a morning meal interrupted by angry crowds years ago, now seen as a warning sign of brewing danger. By the end of the month, officials assured that all recordings, including that pivotal card, were locked away safe. But the buzz persisted. What if one clip was buried because it showed too much? A cue from a guard, a suspicious pause, anything to suggest more at play. And that's where the deeper dive kicks in, peeling back layers on the frames that gripped a nation. What really unfolded in those captured seconds? If whispers held truth, that a crew hand yanked and maybe wiped the closest recording, then this wasn't about one trigger pull anymore. It was a tale of secrets unfolding live. But the full view, messier than any script, this became a battleground where pixels warped reality, edits fueled fury, and facts fought to surface. About 5 minutes post-shot, a bystander's video showed a staffer in dark gear stepping onto the stained platform, reaching up to detach the main camera and tucking away its storage. That brief moment blasted across platforms, branded as destroying the record on camera. Forums lit up with theories, hashtags exploding into millions of eyes. 2 insiders. It was protocol securing the device before crowds could grab it. The card landed with investigators soon after, but optics won out. A figure pocketing evidence from a fresh scene screamed foul. Slow motion replays circled thumbs, claiming hidden swaps. Comparisons to historic cover-ups dubbed it a modern enigma. One post looped a fuzzy blur into what seemed like sleight of hand magic. Clarifications noted that protecting gear at a chaotic spot made sense, especially with opportunists around. Yet those facts sank under waves of remixed videos and enhanced proofs. Finally, the person involved spoke up through a brief note to media. "I was just doing my job, keeping the record safe from theft or leaks. Handed it over that day." Records backed it. Multiple cards logged into custody shortly after, but doubters cried foul on the timing, especially when a similar clip popped up online later. Turns out, that was from a crowd member's device, not the pro setup. What that snippet did show reignited the Stormershine on glass, timed oddly with the bang. Breakdowns argued it beat the sound wave, impossible for a distant rifle. Overlays proved it was just a phone catching light. Even early promoters walked it back, but the original take had already spread like wildfire, doctored with effects for extra punch. Authorities tallied thousands of tips, statements, and items. They affirmed the crew's tapes were whole, one shot from the roof, no more. The head investigator addressed the noise. "We've seen the wild ideas about hidden hands and wipes. All materials secure, no signs of meddling." But his background sparked more division, with sides accusing bias. The void of full release let fakes thrive, altered videos adding shooters, bursts, figures in the dark. Many traced to shady networks abroad. Detection tools flagged hundreds. It turned into a masterclass in twisting grief for gain. Staff endured threats, labeled as plotters. The group fired back, decrying the twisted spin on their loss. A former colleague went public, blasting the attacks as a calculated hit on their work, linking it to years of rising tensions like that old eatery clash where shouts turned ugly. Her stand rallied some, but split others wider. If this story touches your heart, please share it. Then came a fresh leak in early October, a short, authentic segment from the Higher Race feed, showing the speaker mid-word, then the hit. In the back, a protector taps an earpiece right before. That tiny move blew up as the signal. Comparisons to other events claimed patterns. Officials clarified, pure coincidence. A comms check. Experts called it pattern-seeking, in turmoil brains wiring meaning from mess. Every twitch, glow, dot, turned clue. A researcher nailed it. The tape tells truth, but we layer lies on top. That push-pull made the recording a symbol of our cracks, one side craving answers, the other crafting plots. By month's end, the handler faded from view, but the video lived on in endless takes. Even after probes shut down wipe claims, millions clung to myths. It morphed into legend, the lost proof, the buried frame. More images trickled out in November, not from big outlets, but hidden corners online. Sharp stills from split seconds before, showing faces in the crowd, a taut wire, a turning guard, and that flash now clearly a reflection of a held device. For pros, it killed old tales. For the web, it sparked new ones, cries of tweaks or timed drops. Authorities owned the authenticity but lamented the breach. Ironically, it gave the clearest peek yet. No twists, just one act. The drop flipped views. Some felt justified, others saw manipulation. Probes showed how feeds prize heat over heart, every replay cashed in. Fakes turned grief to giggles for some, pain for others. The group reframed it as persecution's proof. The colleague echoed, This strikes at free voices everywhere. Old harassment footage resurfaced, fueling talks of ongoing battles. For fans, it linked dots to murder. For others, recycled rage. The suspect stayed locked up, his team even using the leaks to question angles debunked, fast. But enough to stir pots. Trials delayed amid tip floods, mostly web finds. Studies showed